Blade Volume 5 Number 1 opens in a club. Woman is sitting by herself, having a drink, when she notices some strange people on the dance floor inching towards her. She runs to the door and tries to escape, but she notices they've bolted it closed. And just when she thinks it's over, a car comes crashing through the side of the club. Somebody steps out. He looks at the girl and tells her to hide somewhere. Blade pops out with akimbo katanas in hand. He quickly dispatches of the vampires in the club, but one of them is smart enough to run away. Blade helps her up and they get into his car. She's confused as to why everybody in the world seems to want to kill her, and Blade is just as confused, asking her that he'd hope that she'd tell him. We flash back to a week and we see somebody who appears to be her boyfriend hung up on a wall. Blade's talking to someone from the werewolf nation, saying that he needs to protect this girl. Blade asks if she's a vampire. Tanaka tells him no, but she's charmed, special in some way. Her name's Dana Smith, and that there's a shift in the second world. Vampires, werewolves, specters, all the nasty creatures of the night can feel it. He says that if Blade was a full-blood, he would feel it too. He says he doesn't know why she's important, but she is, and she needs protection. A mysterious unknown entity is hunting the girl, and Tanaka wants Blade's help. He's cashing in on a favor Blade owes him from Shibuya. It's not explained what happened in Shibuya. Blade's wary, and he should be, because the person who they thought was her dead boyfriend is not even dead. This entity can turn people into undead monsters. And if it finds this girl, Dana Smith, and kills her, then the world ends. So Blade kinda has no choice. Flash forward back to Tanaka's house in the present. Blade is hiding her away and questioning her, trying to get more about this mystery guy. But he makes a surprise appearance of his own before Blade can get any more questions. He says something in a language Blade doesn't understand. Blade ignores it, and they begin to fight. He gets the better of Blade for a quick second, and he heads towards the girl with a sword, a glowing, fiery sword, and he's about to kill her once and for all. But then Blade puts a sword into his foot, dodges the slash, does a flip, knocks the sword out of his hand, and he's ready. The fire sword's back in the guy's hand, but Blade blocks it with his katana. A sinister smile takes over the girl's face. This is only for us. I don't think Blade notices this. Blade disarms him and deals the final blow. Blade asks her if she's okay. Her personality seems to have changed. She says she hasn't felt this good in 5,000 years, and she knows Blade by his first name. She reveals that her real name is Adonna, and that the person who could kill her was just killed by Blade himself. Well, technically the sword that he had and trained his entire life to use was the only thing that could have killed her, and he would have done it too, if not for Blade. He goes for a swift beheading, and unsurprisingly, it doesn't work. She says she's come to destroy the first and second worlds and form a new one in her making. Tanaka, the werewolf we met earlier, served her purpose. He just needed to point Blade into the right direction to something he could hate, and he would do the rest himself. She says because she likes Blade, she'll let him live to see what comes after. But she wants to hear him scream. She leaves him with a couple scratches, tells him he'll heal, he always does, and that she'd like to hear him scream again. She leaves him with this: "Don't worry, Eric. Everything you hate, I hate too. And I'll punish them all, Eric. I'll punish them all." She walks off into the distance. She places the sword into the sand, and she rips open her flesh, or at least the flesh of what was Dana Smith, and reveals her true form. 13 days later, we're in the Cambodian mountains. We're introduced to another young girl. She seems to be discussing Blade with one of her comrades. It's revealed her brother was the one who was sent to kill Adonna, the one that Blade killed. and they seem to be punishing Blade for his mistake. She seems merciful, unlike her comrades. She asks where they're keeping him. It cuts to the room where they're keeping him. They call it hell. She breaks into the room and kills the people torturing him. She asks for their forgiveness. She tells Blade she needs his help to stop Adonna from ending all of creation. Blade, not really being in a position to decline, begrudgingly agrees, and off they go.